All right, Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Want to give double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and say peace, mercy, and blessings to all the hopeful elect. The true name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, which means He exists or He is to be. The true name of the Son is Yahushai, which means He is the deliverer. All right? And we are the Hebrew Israelites, so-called blacks, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, Latinos, Hispanics, Cubans, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, indigenous people of America, North, Central, and South. We are the Israelites according to the Bible. The self-proclaimed white man, Europeans, Caucasians, they're actually the children of Esau, Edom, the devil according to the Bible, right? And according to Bible prophecy, Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. Today is December 21st already. Of 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, as the apostles so coined it. And we're just a couple weeks away from the year 2025. Inauguration day. I believe January 20th, Trump is supposed to be inaugurated, but also you got I think it's the PM of Canada, if I'm not mistaken, saying that he's going to cut the power or the energy supply to America. He's saying he's just going to do it. It's definite. All the different tariffs that he's putting on Canada and Mexico, that's affecting the American people. That's affecting your 401k, your taxes, things of that nature, your Social Security, So people are pissed off. So the division in America is at an all-time high. So with the new year coming in, you can expect things to pick up, a new spirit to be out here. And also, more and more, they're going to slowly introduce the mark of the beast, which is one of the major prophecies that we're waiting for. The mark of the beast, World War III, and the second coming of Yahushua, also time of Jacob's trouble,
It's gonna be the mark of oak tree. Now people carve their names in trees. Yeah. The mark of oak tree. That's what Elon mean, right? Oak tree.
Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Which he was set up that way.
Right.
He's a high level witch, warlock,
Right.
sorcerer.
They say he's more president than Donald Trump.
Yeah. Which the people he got a team, man. He got the fucking how you say it from Space Jam, Monstars.
Yeah.
He got the Monstars.
Yeah.
He got JFK Jr. He got Elon Musk in his cabinet.
He just brought in I think Mrs. McMahon.
Mrs. McMahon.
From the wrestler, Ed McMahon wife.
So that's just show you all bullshit right there.
Fucking smoke and mirrors.
The dude, I guess one of the dudes is scanhead to state attorney.
Then you still got Nate changing up the doctrine, talking about the coin of Nero.
Yes. I'm like, how? Like, also, so you told me, you said you're gonna get grievous swords from the coin.
Right.
Like, makes sense. You got dumbass. I hate to say it. I used to be with them, but I'm gonna keep it 100. You got dudes in there zombie out. Come on.
They're pretty much imitations of Nate.
Yep.
They don't got they ain't got that Church of Berea spirit. They'll search what you're saying. This is Revelation 13 and verse 1. Book of Revelation 13 and verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea. So this is John the Revelator on the island of Patmos. And the Most High, Yahushua, is giving them a vision of the things to come in the future. Which John the Revelator, he was the last standing apostle. Which they tried to kill him, right? But they failed, so they sent them to the island of Patmos, man. But on this island, the Most High began to reveal himself unto them. That's why it's called the Book of Revelation. Pulling back the veil. It says, and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. So I wrote it down. I gotta get my book, but the 7 heads and the 10 horns is actually going into NATO and the EU, the power structure of the Edomite kingdom and rulership. You know, and when you break it down, where that kingdom sits is where the ancient Roman Empire is set. You know, which Britain, England, Ireland is part of that, and out of Britain came what? Came America. You know. It says, and on his name, and on his heads, the name of blasphemy, which mainly comes from what? His wine, his philosophy, his religion, Catholicism, Christianity. We said it last week, we're in between 2 churches. So that's confusion. You know, you have Scientology, you have Darwinism, evolutionism, the Big Bang Theory, you know, it's Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabbat. You know, you have all these different doctrines out here. You have false prophets, you know, so that's what's on his head, blasphemy. You know, telling you that the Most High is white, God is white, that the angels are white, you know. It says, number 2, it says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard. Again, going into the kingdom, the power structure of Esau. So when you go into the scriptures, it talks about a beast, it's talking about an empire or a nation or a kingdom. You know, so next year, 2025, will be what, the 250 year of America, Esau's empire's kingdom. But we see his downfall. We see it right now financially. People are struggling. You have I talk about this all the time. You have the working poor, to where people are working 40 to 60 hours a week, but they have to live out their vehicle. You know, in most cases, people are done with renting. So what they're doing is they're saving up to buy, you know, campers, RVs, tiny homes and shit, because you can't afford to live. You're being priced out of society. That's all to bring that squeeze down, to bring that pressure for what? The hour of temptation. Because there's going to come a time upon the world, so the whole world's going to be tested. You're going to be enticed to sin. That's what temptation is, enticement to sin. What the sin is you getting that mark in your right hand or in your forehead or in your left hand, different parts of your body. You know?
All of that is part of prophecy, because the whole inflation thing, like you can buy something that was deemed the same price, but you're getting paying more. Generally, you're paying more for less.
Yeah.
So that goes into that scripture that a day's wage is gonna cause you to have to, you know, use a day's wage to eat.
Exactly. So it's gonna come a time to where, right now we're experiencing inflation. Wow. You go to the store, food is costing more. You want some damn seasoning. Seasoning's like $4 or $5 a bottle for fucking seasoning. Right. Canned goods. You know, the price of eggs, milk has gone up, bread, simple shit like peanut butter and jelly. All of those things are expensive now. But then when you think about hyperinflation, now you're coming to where it's going to take you a whole day's wages, which is in the ancient world, you're talking about a 1 Roman coin, a denarii, right? When you go into the history, it's called a denarii. Now 1 silver Roman coin could get you 16 asses, 16 donkeys. But in our time, we're paid in what? FRN notes. So when you think about it, we don't have land, we don't have cattle, we don't have any of that. So when you think about a day's wages in our time, $200, that's a good, you make that in a day, you're doing pretty good. Because if you can do that each day for 5 days, that's $1,000 a week. You know, so shit, you might end up paying like $150, $200 for some bread and some milk in the days to come. So they're gonna have to do what? They're gonna have to bring some armed guards to these stores, because people are not gonna pay that shit. People already still shoplift. People right now, they're Jake stealing dumb shit, Louis Vuitton bags, Jordans. But what about when people start getting hungry and they want food? So that's gonna cause extreme violence. You know, the scripture talks about many great miseries. You know?
That goes back to that goes back to Haggai 1, 6 and 7. You know, you put in you know, you bring in much, you bring in little. You know, you bring in hope, you bring in money, put holes in the bag.
See, these are things that used to only affect Jake. But now you get online affecting these women. You know, I don't need a man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's you have a lot of single women out here, man. And a lot of them are so-called successful, meaning they have a job making a lot of money. But just because you make a lot of money, now you gotta pay a lot of taxes.
Right.
So you're not gonna get. It says render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. You know what I mean? You're not gonna get ahead in this society the way Esau got it set up unless you sell your soul to them. You know?
I just had a side note of what you said about the narrow was worth 16 asses. That's where you get the whole thing of people tithing. They couldn't take all their cattle with them, so they had to go to the priest. So they had to, you know, bring their because the priest was taken care of. They didn't have to work.
Nope.
So that's why you would have the money tithing thing came across for the Levites.
Which was the system set up.
Yeah.
But right now, your pastor will tell you that, you know, the law's done away with, but they keep that collection plate in circulation.
Exactly. Right.
But they don't have the spirit of charity because they don't help out their members.
Nope.
You know?
Yep.
This is
Yup. We ask the pastor, I need help with rent, groceries, or just ask for just pray over there.
Right.
And don't give it to you.
yep. They tell you sow a seed, and you know you sow a $50 seed, the Lord give you $5,000.
I did so my seed when I gave you that $100 in that damn collection plate.
Which is all bullshit,
Yeah.
man. This society is really set up against the Israelite man. You know? This is Revelation 13 and verse 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard going into the kingdom, or the rulers of this kingdom was like unto a leopard, showing you what? That there would be, this is an Edomite power structure, rulership kingdom. It makes sense because even Esdras says that Esau is the end of the world. That's what the Lord told Esdras by the angel. Told him Esau would be the end of the world. So it makes sense that he would have the last standing kingdom, or be the last man in authority, rulership, before the Lord returns. You know, so just like going back to the leopard, that's dealing with Alexander the Great and the ancient Greeks.
Right.
His 4 generals, Bartholomew, Seleucus, Cassander, and Lysimachus. You know, so that's those Greeks. That's Esau. So now we're back in the Roman Empire all over again, modern day Greece. Shit, we're in upstate New York. You got Rome, New York, Babylon, New York, Egypt, New York, Greece, Carthage, all of that, man. You know, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah.
About the leopard, they just go into swiftness on how fast he took over. They conquered
You have the swiftness and ferocity, because going back to Alexander the Great, the man only ruled for about 12 years. But in that short time, 12 years ain't nothing. That's like 12 seconds to the Lord.
My son 12.
You know, that's and you know how they say when you have children, they say they grow up quick. And before you look like, damn, they're already 12, they're already teenagers.
Exactly.
You know, so 12 years ain't nothing. So when you read the book of Maccabees, it says he reigned 12 years, then he died. But in those 12 years, he shut shit down. He put fear in the hearts of people, man. But he was fair with the Israelites, because you know the Most High used the priest to show him who he is and how he fits in prophecy. So he had respect unto our nation. But when it came to Antiochus, he was a damn demon. Because the Most High put that spirit in him, because our people sold out to the Greeks before that anyway. You know?
So yeah, to land back on what you said, that Esau will have to be in rulership, all that's prophecy, because it tells you that if you steal of a man, he be found in your hand. You know what
Right.
I mean? So that's us being over here still to this day in our captivity.
Right, he's not going to say, hey, you guys are the Israelites. We got your land. Right now, there's finger pointing. And there's a saying, you point one finger at me, 3 are pointing back at you. With those rabbis that are in the land, the Holy Land, are saying that the people over here are Edomites. You know? And people over here are saying, no, y'all are Edomites. This is what they're saying. But in actuality, those are Amalek, and you got Esau over here, which Esau had different sons, just like God, the Russians. You could tell they got a different spirit on them than an American soft ass sword boy Edomite, man.
I was doing a study on this lesson with the Edomites. You know, Amshar Rothschild. he had 5 sons, just like Esau had 5 sons.
See?
That might be Esau himself back at that time.
Because there's reincarnation. You know, just like the Borgia family. You know? It says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet was as the feet of a bear. So the feet going into what? The end of his kingdom. Because when you go to the statue of Daniel, the feet, that represented the last part, or the end. And it said that the stone was going to come and smite the feet. Meaning during this end of this man's kingdom, during Esau's rulership, that's when the Lord was going to come and destroy him.
Was that a mixture of clay and brass?
Yep. Was going was going into was goes into now. You got something called Pigs Nations. You can look that up, Baba Kashaw. Pigs Nation. I believe it's Greece, Spain, Italy, but pretty much it's the weaker nations because they're partly weak, partly strong. So part of
Pigs?
P-I-G,
Oh, okay. Okay.
Pigs Nations. You know? Keep reading. This is Revelation 13, verse 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, going into the end of this power structure or this kingdom, which the bear represents the Russians, Gog and Magog. They're going to be a crucial part in the downfall and the destruction of Babylon the Great. Putin is always making threats against who? The West, saying we're going to use nuclear weapons. But at the same time, you have the West arming Ukraine, all right, allowing them to send missiles into Russia. You know, so they're moving closer and closer on Putin's border, which is causing tension between America and Russia. And there's a saying that America is poking the bear, showing you that Russia is that bear, man. You know, and even you look up the symbol of Russia, it's the bear. You got it?
Yep. Pigs Nation. Pigs is the derogatory acronym that has been used to designate the economies of the southern European countries and Portugal, Italy.
Right, so that's part of the beast, those nations. Read them.
Southern European countries of Portugal, Italy, Greece, and Spain.
So those are parts of the beast too. The 10 heads, the 7 heads, and 10 horns. So when you go to Daniel, the 2nd chapter, it talks about the feet and the 10 toes, partly strong and partly broken. Certain of Esau's nations are financially dependent on other nations. They're financially weaker than other nations. You know, America's supposed to be one of those strong nations financially, but now it's being weakened. A lot of the farmland that's in America is actually owned by Moab. But now you got Kill Bill buying it up. And what's happening to the farmers that are already here, they're being driven out to where they got to sell the farm, their equipment. You know, they're being pressured to use Monsanto seeds. They don't want you to have nothing naturally grown anymore, man. You know, because we're dealing with the devil, you know. This is Revelation 13, verse 2, and its mouth as the mouth of a lion was showing you what? Going into Britain. And out of Britain came America, you know. It says, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority, going into the ancient Roman Empire. Modern day America is modeled after the ancient Roman Empire. I was looking at the Latin alphabet. It looks just like the English alphabet, man. You look at a lot of the laws of America, they're written in Latin. You know, you have Roman numerals. You know, you have the Capitol Hill. You know, in ancient Rome they had, I believe it's called Capitoline Hill, but that all goes back to the ancient Roman Empire, man. One of the 7 hills of Rome. You know, Mars Hill, which in Rome they called it Jupiter Hill, but it's the same God, but a different name. You know. You have something called inauguration and augur. Goes back to, it's all witchcraft, you know. It says, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death. And that's going into ancient Rome. And the reason why it was wounded to death is because the Israelites that you know, got in positions of power, They became Caesars, which is why in this new movie Gladiator 2 you have Macrinus, which you can read about him. This book by I believe it's J.A. Rogers, The Nature Knows No Color Line. It talks about Macrinus and the Moorish, the Moor Caesars, which Moor is another word for black, you know. Moreno. Some people would say it started with Septimius Severus, but when you look at, you know, Macrinus and the other Caesars, started way before that. Because you look at the 5 good emperors, matter of fact, I'm going to read it. If I got it, Lord willing.
Yeah, that was part of how empires crumbled. For one, they let Jake get in, take over, and the economy fall too. That's another sign of an empire.
I left it at home. My bad. Can you hand me that? Thank you, bro. I left the book at home, but it's called Nature Knows No Color Line. But in that book, it breaks it down. You can go all the way back to Trajan, Hadrian, Tigranes Pius, Marcus Aurelius. I forget the other good emperors called, but you can look up the 5 good emperors. They even tell you that they had high-ranking generals that were Moors or black people of color, but they were Israelites too. That's what they're not going to tell you. You know, you can see the beards. Like if you look at Trump and Nero, they both have clean shaven face, but Jake always rocked their beard because it's in their spirit. You know.
So that's what Jake did in all empires, even in Japan and samurai. It was the first. It was Jake. But they're not gonna tell you that. The best fighter is Jake. You know what I'm saying? Even some of our native brothers over here, they looked at them because they called them Negro. They're like they're dark. They're like Negroes.
They called them tree niggas.
They're the Seminoles.
You watch that movie, The Revenant, he clearly called them tree niggas.
Right.
You know? So that's what Esau would do. And I believe at one point in history, he classified the natives as Negro. You know? Shit, you have something called maroon societies where what would happen, you have slaves that have run away and they're running to the natives, but then the natives would take them in, you know, and you know, they were both warriors, so they'll go and hit licks on Esau. Yeah, you have one, I believe it's one maroon called the Skull. One of my history teachers taught me that. He said they had a real big maroon society in Louisiana with the natives there and the slaves. I believe it was called like the Skull Maroon Society. Esau could never fuck with them. There's a lot of slave revolts, things of that nature that Esau won't tell you about, man. And one of the hardest fights that this devil has to fight was against Gad and Reuben, because he had to take this land from them. You know? It says, verse 3, Revelation 13:3, and I saw one of his heads as they were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. His deadly wound was healed going back to the time of the Renaissance. That's back when Esau began to come back in power, but that also correlates with him being loosed a little season, you know? 1,000-year period. This is Revelation 20:1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. That's talking about Yahushua coming down. The chain represents slavery or bondage, but that's what he did. That's what he hit Esau with. So it was during, it was with this chain that the Most High bound Esau. Now, what Esau being bound, our people was what? They were not bound. So they began to be what? Sit in positions of rulership. That's how they became the Caesars, kings of Europe, the monarchy, things of that nature. That's why, it's the reason why the symbol of Britain is the lion. Because that goes back to the Israelites. Yahushua, lion of the tribe of Judah. You know, but Esau, after the, when he got loose the little season, you had the bubonic plague, the Black Death, Jake beginning to die off, so all he had to do was go sit his ass on the throne. You know? This is Revelation 20:2. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. So it says the old serpent was showing you what the Esau got that spirit all the way going back to the garden. You know, if you look at the symbol of an iPhone, it's a piece of apple bitten out of, showing you that he was always with witchcraft, sorcery, stargazing, symbolism, tapping into that left hand energy to get power from Satan, doing demonic sacrifices. You know.
Mason hand signs and shit. Sonic.
Verse 3 and cast them into the bottomless pit and shut them up. But that goes into Europe. And actually, when you go into Job 30, it says they cried after him as a thief, and they got chased up into the Caucasus Mountains. You know, which is why today we call them Caucasian. You know, and today we call them Caucasian, but that actually goes back to what? Being a cave dweller. Then he makes commercials and shit so easy a caveman could do it because they know their history. You know, you got this book called by Arthur Koestler called The 13th Tribe, and in this book it tells you how Esau was living. You know, how they would wear their clothes till they disintegrate, how they would eat lice and bugs off each other, how the woman would just, you know, they'll be on their cycle, they'll just run down, and they're drinking and shit. They'll eat out the skulls of their dead relatives. They're in the pedal. They're sick people. You know, just like it says in Job 30, children of fools, the basement. You know.
You know what we did that? Picked it that the best way. We did quench the fire.
Quench the fire. You know, and Battlefield Earth, he called them man animals.
Man.
Which that's a great way to describe Esau, man. He's a fucking man, but he's an animalistic nature.
Call him the beast. That's what we call him, that beast. Man.
You know,
mindless animal.
the serpent biting the dust confusion. You know.
That his start for that came out of when he was given the mark of Cain. He was driven out, became a vagabond. That was part of his journey of becoming a nomadic, a caveman.
Scripture says something about a person that roam around, is unstable, something like that. I'm going to paraphrase. Scripture always said that you're supposed to be traveling around like this.
That's part of his curse, though.
Yep.
Because that's a very sorrowful, bitter life. You don't got nowhere you can, you know.
And that's his history. He has no home. He has no history. I mean, other than Mount Petra, but he don't have no
I believe there's a scripture that tells you that he actually took the caves from the Horites, if you want to look that up. Because he's a culture vulture. So just, if you think about him being a cave dweller, he took the damn caves from the Hamites, you know? This is book of Revelation 20 and 3. And cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more. So for this 1,000 years, he wasn't allowed to deceive. But Esau, he will refer to this 1,000-year period as the medieval times or dark ages or the Byzantine Empire, which I believe the word Byzantine actually means backwards. So when we ruled it, he called it a backwards empire. But this is actually the backwards empire. This, if you think about it, you know, people aren't getting married in this empire. People aren't having children because people are afraid to.
You want me to get it out of the Bible?
Yeah.
Right in the Bible?
Yeah, just type in KJV, Horites, Esau. Horites took the caves from, Esau took the caves from the Horites. The Mosai set them up to do that.
Well, it says here, in the Bible, the Horites were a race of people who lived in the land of Edom. They were mentioned in Genesis. Let me go to it. I got one here on Wikipedia.
Yeah. I'll read it again. It's a scripture on it. See if you can find the scripture.
It says it's mentioned in Genesis 14 and 6.
Okay.
Genesis 36 and 20.
36 and 20. Read that one. Actually, let me see if I can get it real quick. That's where it talks about, Esau, Edom.
So here's a little bit on it.
I got it.
All right. Okay, that's not it.
So this says history. It says the Horites were the original inhabitants of the land of Edom. They were a branch of the Hivites and lived in limestone caves. The Horites were defeated by the descendants of Esau,
Oh, that's it.
who then took control of the land and named it Edom.
There you go.
Right.
There you go. So they've been doing that.
Right.
You know, they did the same thing to the Greeks. The first Greeks that actually ruled, or the Japhites. But they were people of color. You know, but then Esau got in there, no, I'm the Greeks. Civilization started with the Greeks. If you look at a lot of the pottery and a lot of the, how you say it, the ceramics, you know, different artwork of the Greeks, it has homosexual shit on it. Naked men wrestling, pretty much pornography, you know, of the ancient world, you know, but that's Esau.
Yeah, cats on the face. I always kind of figure that shit when they go that hut behind the back
Yeah.
of tights. I don't
And the tights.
and they be behind you like this. I'm like, wow.
Then I believe it's actually made out of pigskin, which you're not supposed to do that,
Touch it.
you know. But they brought that to the land of Israel during the Maccabees. It said that he made a place of exercise, which gymnos means naked. So back then they used to work out, wrestle, things butt ass naked, you know. But shit, you go to the gym, the women are pretty much naked. But then you have men up in there with high ass shorts and shit on. It's the same shit, man. You know, you can't go to the locker room. You know?
Yeah, they got the bodybuilding competition, niggas with speedos on, oil, with the Diddy oil on them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Most of them be Jakes. Esau admires Jake's physiques, man.
Yeah.
You know? He's envious everything about us. This is Revelation 20 and verse 3. And cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. So he couldn't deceive for 1,000 years. But after that, he's going to be loosed a little season to deceive. And what now? Right now, what is he doing? Deceiving with what? Technology, religion, democracy, currency, you know, philosophies, his ideologies, his media, his radios,
Colleges.
mainly the colleges, man, theologian schools, things of that nature. And who's always the criminal or the bad guy? Us. So he paints a narrative or a picture that the Israelite man is the thug, gangster, criminal, drug dealer. But then you look at pharmaceuticals. A lot of that shit actually has real heroin, dope, crack in it. And people become really addicted to the prescription drugs from the pharmacy. But Jake is the biggest drug dealer. You hear about Pablo Escobar, you know, Mexican Mafia, Freeway Ricky. You hear about, what's the guy that just got released? Big Meech. You think about a real drug dealer, that's Esau, man. Take your ass to Walgreens. But he'll paint you as the bad guy. Really, it's Esau.
He the one who bring it in with the CIA, bringing it in, giving it to Jake too.
Yeah, cocaine import agency. You know, what's that movie, American Gangster with Denzel? You know, the military dude was bringing the shit off the plane. He hid it in the dead bodies of the soldiers, man, or the caskets. You know?
I think that word pharmacy going to farmer was witchcraft, right?
Exactly. Which on the logo is a pot,
Snake.
witch's pot, the brew.
Then they got the staff, snake, emulating Moses.
Revelation 20 and verse 3, that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after he must be loosed a little season. So right now we're in this little season where he's loosed. That deadly wound is healed, but now that ancient Roman Empire is back, but now it's a whore riding upon the beast. So now it's transformed, much stronger.
Right.
You know, you think about the different military branches. Back then, they didn't have a space force or air force. You know, they might have had a somewhat of a navy, infantry. But now this man, he got the Marines, he got the Air Force, he got it. I was looking up. He invented the Space Force right before COVID, December 19th, December 20th, 2019, a couple of months before COVID. You know, this whole situation with the drones and the orbs, they're telling you what, that now they have to prepare for a fight in the space. Because that's right out the scriptures. The scripture says that that there was war in heaven. You know? Revelation 20 and 4. The thing about this chapter, when you read it, it's like a dream. You know, you have a dream, and then it's like the dream will jump around. But that's what's going on with this chapter. Because part of it, you talk about the Israelites that were ruling during the Dark Ages, which that ties in with the Caesars of Rome. That ties in with the monarchy, the kings of Europe, King Alfred, etc. You know, King Henry, kings of France, the nobility, those are all Israelites. King James, even the Vikings.
Yep.
You know, those are so-called black men.
I think King Arthur.
King Arthur,
Too, man.
all Israelites, man.
Yep.
It said, the Most High said, we shall be a nation of kings and priests. So we got that spirit. Esau don't really have that spirit.
They said that the picture of King Arthur, how they portrayed him in the movie, like him being a nice handsome guy. They say he was like a big giant dude, like real, like warrior, warrior ready dude. Like he carried like a big ass, like an axe, a hammer with him. You know what I'm saying? Like he said he wasn't no small dude.
Nah, back, life was different back then. You had female warriors and shit. You know, you act like Esau make all these fucking movies with women in it. But back then, you really had female warriors. Because they had to, because the Roman Empire would take them and grape them. So their men taught them how to fight. Shows you that on Vikings. You know?
They call them
Amazons. Which means, that word actually means female warrior.
Right.
You know?
Xena, Princess Warrior, the female show.
This is Revelation 20 and verse 4. So in this chapter, it jumps to the future. You know? It says, and I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai. So which that ties in with his deception, his mark of the beast. Because it's gonna come a time to where if you don't want to follow the way society is going and bend the knee and take the mark, then there's a consequence for that, which will be what? Execution by guillotine, or maybe some other way. You know, but the main way is gonna be guillotine. It says the devil shall cast you and some of you in the prison. So that's some brothers are gonna have to deal with that judgment. But the Most High is gonna give you the spirit to endure that. Because even with that, even that is part of the victory. He said they got victory over the beast through what? The blood of the Lamb. You know? It says, and for the word of the Most High, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image. So that's not talking about ancient Roman Empire. Because it fell. Right. It ain't talking about. Back then, you gotta think, what about all the Israelite Caesars that took over? So it said, what the Lord said, who pretty much who faces this? And they said, well, it's Caesar. You know, back then it might have been, I believe it might have been Tiberius during the time the Lord was ruling. If you read Acts, it talks about Claudius. But during the time of Acts, that Caesar kicked the Jews out and the Christians. Because they were forming camps and the Jews were going at the Christians about the law. Same thing that's going on now with the camps and the IUIC, and you know, it's the same thing all over again.
That's them back. That's the same spirit.
Reincarnation, you know.
I think the Romans came over with Catholicism. That's over there in Rome, the Vatican.
But those, you got to remember, those were Jake's, because Jake took over Rome. Around that time, 325 AD, you can really start the clock because Jake ended up falling around the 1300s. But it was longer, that 1,000 year period was way longer than 1,000 years because Jake began to get in power around 90 AD, you know? And what, Jerusalem fell 70 AD, you know? So that started that scattering, which 100, I believe it was not 100, I believe over 1 million Jews went into Africa. A lot of them were already in Rome. Some went into India. They said, the Lord said, I shall scatter you 7 different ways, you know? Revelation 20:4, it says, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Yahushua 1,000 years, which the elect are going to have eternal life. That first 1,000 years is going to be what? Special, because it's going to be with the first fruits. And it's through the elect of the loins of the first fruits that the rest of the nation will be brought back in the kingdom, man, in their right mind. So this proves that we're not under the new covenant. The fact that we're out here right now teaching, setting up a camera, going live, recording, proves that we're not in the new covenant, man. We don't have it. A lot of our people don't know the name. A lot of them still call on Yah. You know, they kind of got it, but they don't.
Some people still think that Yahushua is a white man.
A lot of them think Yahushua is a white man, which they call on Jesus Christ. They don't even call on that name. They call on Yeshua, Yehoshua, or Ahaya, you know? Verse, go back to 13. Revelation 13 and verse 3, and I saw one of his heads as they were wounded to death. So that's talking about the ancient Roman Empire when Jake began to rule. And his deadly wound was healed, and that's during the little season. It began to heal, which is what? The time of the Renaissance, which means rebirth. And all the world wondered after the beast. Now, because that's like, damn, how the fuck, you know? You know, that's like you, that's like us. We were dead, but now we're coming back to life. Well, that's what ancient Rome did. But the apostles, you know, they didn't understand that Rome had to fall and rise again. You know, to prove that, you go to Acts. Because the Lord told them that's a good one too. You got Thessalonians?
I think so.
If you want to grab it, I'll get the one to Acts. Because they were asking the Lord. He said, right, and they said it's not for you to know. So did they know Rome was going to fall and rise again? They didn't. You know?
At that time, Yahushua was on the mission.
Right.
That had to be fulfilled.
What about the Northern Kingdom?
Right.
Because they were all the way in the Americas.
Right.
You know, you had some of them over there, but the bulk of them were here. This is the book of Acts, chapter 1, and verse 6. Acts 1 and verse 6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? And this was after Yahushua had died and rose. He actually still with the disciples who became apostles. He's still with them for 40 days. You know, ministering unto them, preaching unto them, you know. So they asked him, like, oh, we about to get the kingdom? Because the Lord had rose, he was with them. So they think, oh, we about to take down the Romans. Because they been thought that before the Lord died, they was like, oh shit. We thought, we about to get these Romans out of the land. But that's when the Lord told them in Matthew 24, because they were showing them the temple and stuff. The Lord's like, man, all this shit gonna be destroyed. You know?
3 days.
Yep. And the Lord, and they asked him like, man, what sign, when this gonna happen? You know, and that's Matthew 24. You know, and a lot of it was talking about 70 AD, but a lot of Matthew 24, Luke 21 is actually talking about things that are going to happen in our time. So now we're seeing signs in the heavens, solar eclipses, blood moons, earthquakes, wars, rumors of wars, things of that nature.
We're supposed to be another one too.
And then you got to go back to Deuteronomy when the Lord said he shall send us into Egypt again with ships.
Yep.
So certain prophecies had to be fulfilled then and now.
That's falling away.
You got it.
2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin must be revealed.
That man of sin was not revealed back then. You know, right now in our time, the man of sin, Esau, Edom, which we know to be the so-called white man who's in rulership, starting with the elites, the different banking families, they're being revealed. You know, to the fact where that's actually a book, right? The book is Who is Esau Edom by Charles A. Wiseman. You can read that again, because right now is the time where he's being revealed.
The book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall come, not come, except there come a falling away first.
So we fell away. You know, with 70 AD, people begin to be scattered. Hell, even the different monarchs and kingdoms we set up during the Dark Ages, that got taken down with the bubonic plague, the Black Death. We fell away. All the way up until, 1970, when the Most High rose up Abba Bivens. You know, so there was a great falling away to our people, lost our heritage, the language, the name, the customs, all of that. You know?
There come a falling away first, and that man of sin must be revealed.
So now is the time the man of sin must be revealed. Esau, Edom. And we're revealing unto you his main agenda, which is that mark of the beast technology. You know, and what also what's going on now, they want to fake an alien invasion, which is called what? Project Bluebeam. So it looks like they're starting with what? The drones and all of that, you know? Back in Acts 1 verse 6, it says, when they therefore will come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? Verse 7, and he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father had put in his own power. So he told them it ain't for you to know. You know? Because if you think about the apostles, they went different ways teaching the doctrine. I believe Thomas went into India. You know, they went different ways. You had Apostle Paul, the apostle to the Gentiles, so he had to go on his journeys and travels. So it wasn't time for them to take down these nations and get the kingdom. But now we're coming unto that time where the men of the Lord will be given power, because they were fishermen. You know, both sides set them up as fishermen, as we're doing now. But those same fishermen will then be upgraded or transformed rather into hunters. You know?
So I think that's where you get the 7 churches in Asia Minor.
Yeah.
That's the colonial. You know, that's where they went. The apostles went. Man.
What's the different? Which that shows you right there. There were Israelites, because they had different synagogues, all over the world back then. It said Paul had Roman citizenship. You know. If you read James, it says to the 12 tribes scattered abroad, greeting. You know. This is Jeremiah 16 and verse 16. I use that body heat warming up.
Moving things around.
Yeah, it's brick out here, but it's about 20 degrees. So tomorrow's gonna be 16. So it's only gonna get colder, man. Then that's the thing about coming out later. You know, that's why I be trying to get out early. The sunset is colder. You know. Jeremiah 16:16 says, "Behold, I will send for many fishers," and that's the prophets, the men of the Lord, the men that you see out teaching, starting with our apostles and elders. We're fishing. You know, we used to put up the net, the internet. You know, the bait is the word, and then we're fishing. You know, said the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. And why is that? Because the elites are going to hide in the mountains and the holes in the rocks from Yahweh Shai. Because they know what's up, man. They know what the so-called drones are. They know about the chariots. This is why they have a Project Blue Beam. This is why they have to try to fake an alien invasion, because they know what's getting ready to hit their ass, man. They know we're the Israelites. They see us rising back up. So great fear is falling upon Esau, which is why they about to start also what? That persecution. So also under Nero, what did he do? He burned the city down and blamed the Christians. You know, so another thing I was thinking about while everybody's distracted looking up, what about the 80 million illegal immigrants here? And how many of them are military-aged men? You know, how many of them could be sleeper cells, agents, things of that nature? So there could be a so-called T attack, you know, and Esau could, you know, blame the Israelites, you know?
But that's funny because you said we're fishermen right now, so that's going into the prophets, the apostles and such. And then the hunters is going to be transformed, the prophets are going to be transformed into the elect. You know, I mean, they are the elect, but they're going to be given new bodies. And then that's like with Yahweh Shai, he said, I will not meet you as a man. So that's when the elect, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to meet you like a man. They're going to have superpowers. I mean, that's what they call them,
X-Men.
superhuman strength.
Yep.
Superman. He's not human, he's an alien.
Supercell. I believe it's called Supercell, that show on Netflix.
Yeah.
Shows you Israelites with spiritual power.
Yeah.
You know, which that's actually, you know, that's how you actually going to see men out here flying, you know,
Right.
manipulating the elements, calling down. Elijah had the power to call down fire back then. He called it down and destroyed the Syrian army.
Right.
You know, so that's nothing new amongst our nations. Just right now in America, it's hard for your mind to fathom that, because you only read about it in the comics. You might have seen it on TV. That's actual things men have done.
Right.
You know, Moses had spiritual power.
I briefly must brag about the flying.
You know, what's the one Jake? I think it's the Eagle. The Jake from 8 Mile.
From who?
From 8 Mile. It's the same Jake from 8 Mile. Papa Dot.
Oh, you talking about Black Adam?
Anthony Mackie.
He played. I think he played the Eagle in the Avengers.
Yeah, Falcon.
Well, that's
Falcon.
Captain America. Captain
So he got what, the ability to fly.
Yeah.
That goes to the scriptures.
Yeah.
You know, then you have Brightburn.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
so that's those hunters, man. That's what you watch that movie Brightburn. He was hunting.
Yeah.
It said in the movie it said take the world.
Yeah, exactly.
But that comes from Daniel. Said the saint take the kingdom.
Yeah.
You know.
That was the play on Superman, if
Yeah.
you really look at it.
Yep.
Because that craft he came into, the parents who found him, just like with Superman's parents, they found him and hid the thing in the barn. You know what I mean? So you get a lot of
That was the evil Superman.
That's what Superman should have
Brightburn.
did.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they're letting. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, they got a new one coming out 2025, Superman.
Yeah, I know.
It look crazy.
Call L all power.
You know?
You know, so that's what the elect is about to be given. It says, "He that overcometh and endured unto the end shall receive of all things."
See, that's basically this is the reason why the elites, the cabal, trying to get it. When they had that encounter with Senor Toko, that's when they were like, oh, okay, yeah, we gotta get this AI back. That, you know what I'm saying? He told him you're gonna be more like me.
That's a great point you just made, because the Lord is about balance. He's not just going to allow Esau to have all his drones and human eater robot dogs and all this technology, and we just don't have nothing. So the Lord's going to combat his AI technology, things of that nature, with the men with spiritual power. Because we're going to need that sort of power to even.
To fight against it.
Because how the hell are you going to fight against a damn robot? You know what I'm saying?
And Esau, I know it because I know some years ago and shit, this before I came to the truth, I was watching, that's why I was in my conspiracy chambers, you know what I'm saying? And there was a Edomite dude had like, he would narrate and shit, he was saying that yeah, military got their super soldiers and God gonna have his super soldiers back against them, you know what I'm saying? But this was the Edomite Christian saying this, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, oh, so he knows something, you know what I'm saying?
Which it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because you said they shall be as madmen sparing none. So these super, I believe, damn, what's that soldier? What's that movie with Michael J. White? Is it called Super Soldier?
No, you come on, Universal.
Universal Soldier.
Sequel, yeah.
So that's the damn Super Soldier.
Yeah.
So imagine a whole damn 1,000 super soldier, universal soldier unit coming after you.
Yeah.
They got chips in them. They technology.
Yeah. It was dead soldiers. That's what it was. It was dead soldiers. Military service that resurrected dead soldiers.
Which he actually believes he could do that.
You gotta look up DARPA. The DARPA guy. I was watching it the other day. You didn't see the one that had on TikTok where the dude had some bionic legs, man. And he kicked this big ass this metal steel barrel. Man, he kicked that shit like a good 6-10 feet away. He kicked it like from over here. He said, "Wow!" That shit said, and it flew into a fucking wooden thing and broke that shit. That wasn't no CGI, no fake. That was the real deal. Dude had like bionic cyborg legs and shit. He was a soldier. He kicked this shit. Big ass canister oil drum barrel. Yeah. He kicked that shit like it was like a ball and shit.
Well, you gotta look at his technology now with those fucking cranes and shit.
Yeah.
Those backhauls. That's robotic.
Robotics, yeah.
Them hydraulics in there. That's all robotics. Look how strong them shits is. Big ass rock, boulders out the ground. So all he did was make a mini suit with the shit in it. I mean, that shit ain't too far fetched. What's that? Movie?
But check this out though.
Yeah.
That wasn't a suit. That was his legs. His legs got cut off.
Right.
So they built them.
But they put something on them.
Yeah.
They added
Prosthetics.
something on them.
Yep.
What's that? They call that shit an
exoskeleton.
Exosuit.
Yeah.
Exoskeleton suit.
Yeah.
Which they put that in different video games too. I believe it's called Call of Duty. I forget which one.
Yeah.
But one of the damn Call of Duties, they have exoskeleton suits to where they can actually like
Get in
not
it.
fly but jump and glide. They can
Yeah.
run on the walls and shit.
Yeah.
Esau
All they
really
do is
got
get in
shit
it.
like that,
Yeah.
man.
I was like, you know what I'm saying? We care about this. You got cousins, your older cousins, uncles to tell you that. Like, they got this. They used to watch TV. You just thinking they were just saying it just to get you hyped up. Where they like, nah, they got this.
Well, if you think about the movie Total Recall, the Johnny Cab, the fucking flat screen TVs in the wall,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff that we're just getting now, Esau been had that shit.
Right.
We just really got old tech, and all of this shit is for the military anyway.
Right.
The smartphone, the highways, it's all built for Esau's military.
Right.
We just got leftovers. Like okay, back rate. They already upgraded. Back rate.
This is Revelation 12 and verse 12. It reads, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them." And that's dealing with the elect, even the angels. Because even though, we catch hell and we're still in the spirit of rejoicing, but our heart is still sorrowful because we are still here and we got to suffer. But suffering is part of being in the truth, of being in the knowledge. You got to suffer.
Purge.
Because that's what makes you perfect. When you talk about Yahweh Shai said, he shall make the captain of your salvation perfect through sufferings. So all that suffering and hell he went through is what made him perfect, man. The same thing is happening to us. It says, "Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil has come down to you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time. So with that knowledge, that's why he's moving so fast, man. And even right, it's 2020. Oh, just like that, 2025. Like how long we been out here? We ain't even been that long. We ain't even been out here that long. The apostles been out here going on about 40 years. You know, 30, 35, 40 years they've been out here. We only been out here since what, 2016, 2017? It's already 2025. So imagine how hard he's working to bring about his new world order. He want this shit now, man. You know? Can you look that up? He cannot perform his enterprise. It's in Job. I believe, actually, I think I got it. Might be Job 5 and 17. I got it. This is Job 5 and 13. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness. No, it's 12. Job 5 and 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. And that's what the Most High is doing. He's disappointing them. Mainly with what his prophets. Because we're revealing what he's doing as he's doing it. So we're like a thorn in his side. so he's like, fuck, you know, I gotta get rid of these motherfuckers.
I do. Because either way he come at us, it's going to expose his hand. And that's going to make the Lord use his hand. You know what I'm saying? So he got him in what you call a rock, between a rock and a hard place.
But at the same time, he gotta get rid of us.
Yeah, yep. You got to get rid of it.
Because we're the witnesses. It's just like, you know, you're on the streets, you know, you do something, somebody, you know, like, damn, there's a witness out there, you know. But eventually you want to get rid of that witness because that witness going to what? Going to tell on your ass, you know.
That was like that guy that rolled up on the apostles and asked them, like, where did you guys learn that from? We spent billions of dollars trying to hide that from y'all. You know what I'm saying?
But that goes into the spirit of life coming into us. It's nothing. Money can't stop the spirit. Money is some tangible carnal that you can't even take with you when you die. So that shows it's a great phenomenon, a spiritual thing. Just like Willie Lynch said, man. You know, we put this protocol down like we're supposed to. It's gonna keep these niggas in check for 300 years. That lines up with prophecy, 3 days and a half. You know? Back in Revelation 13 and verse 4, and they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshiped the beast, saying, who's like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him? Right, because when you go to World War II, this man fucking Hiroshima, Nagasaki, the atomic bombs, fat man, little man. Nobody wanted to fuck with America and Esau, man. No, you didn't want no smoke. Which is why in Joel says what? Let the weak say I'm strong. So these nations that were once weak, timid, and afraid to even speak about or go up against the West, now they're ready. Because now they have alliances that are being formed and they have nuclear capability as well. So now they're like, fuck it. You know?
Dig into it. Get it.
Verse 5, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given him to continue 42 months. And that great things, and even New York passing the law that there's no punishment for adultery. That's part of that mouth speaking great things. Him calling us Negroes and blacks, African Americans, him, God, Christianity, Scientology, that's all part of his mouth speaking great things against the Most High.
Trying to block out the sun and doing all that is great things too.
Putting satellite, a space force, like you gonna fight the Lord, you know? But this is the same man that lied to the Most High face, Cain, you know? He said, I don't know, my brother's. He's got an attitude with the Lord.
Word. got mouthy. You know what I mean?
Like after he killed his brother, like
You know, you going on funny. You know that, right?
But they say he's the first murderer.
and liar.
Yeah.
You know? Revelation 13 and 6, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against the Most High, to blaspheme his name, and that's what he's doing, man. You know, with a lot of his laws, because he's changing them. He's pretty much giving you a license to sin, which is transgression of the law. But then he's so-called a man of God. He got the Bible here. It's all confusion, man. You know, which is now why he got to be judged out the scriptures. You know, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heavens. Total disrespect against the Most High, his people, us. You know, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. So that happened with 1492. He got loose a little season, came over here, made war against the Israelites, and overcame us. This is how he established America. You know?
It said that he before the affliction.
Yep.
He made it. He overkilled.
He went over, because even when we got so-called free from slavery, that's when the lynchings and everything got worse. In most cases, that's when the oppression got worse. You know? It says, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. Don't he have that? He got that, man. These other heathen nations know that the so-called white man is pretty much like in the power seat. His face is on the money. You know, this is why they treat him a certain. This is why they treat us a certain way, because we're at the bottom right now. You know.
Yeah, the other nations is like crabs in a barrel. They see us trying to come up, they pull us right back down, so they get lowered over it. Yeah, that's why you find when you go over to Japan, the motherfuckers wearing suits now, ties. They ain't wearing their traditional, garb or whatever, Shit crazy. Arab women come over here, start wearing pants and shit with their little high G's on.
They start slutting out.
Right.
They get OnlyFans.
Yeah.
You know, commit adultery.
Yeah.
They become whores. This is what America does to you. It makes you leave your how you say it, your customs, your traditions of your homeland, and take on its traditions, which is complete bullshit. Yeah. It destroys you.
It makes you abominable.
That's why it says in Micah, it is polluted, it shall destroy you with a sword destruction, man. Yeah. You know? Verse 8, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him whose names are not written in the book of the life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. So if you ain't part of the elect, you're going to be caught up in the allure of this place. You're going to be in love with the world. That's why John says, love not the world, neither the things that are in it. You know, and the thing about us is we hate this fucking place, man. You know?
Passion.
We're not with it. Yeah, but hey, that's in Romans, 7,000 men that would not bow to the knee of Baal. Those men had the spirit on them to hate the world. Now we're here and we use it because it says use the world but don't abuse it, because we have to live here, so we have to use it. You gotta do certain things. You gotta work. You know, you gotta pay bills and subject under payments.
Yeah, the scripture said that we love them. It said they hate you, they love not their life unto death.
If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. And that scripture puts a smile on our face, man. Because this devil, he brags about slavery. He makes movies about it. Yeah. But all that's doing is stirring up the spirit of our people. You know? And good. You led us in captivity. You had your you rejoiced over us. You had your revenge. I believe in Ezekiel said he greatly avenged and offended, but now you're gonna be put in captivity. Right. Okay? You led us into captivity, now you have to go into captivity. Right. You know?
Actually, wacky tacky Christian, what that mean? Verse mean? You know what I'm saying? God loves everybody. Well, let's
Right.
read
I
Revelation.
want to see vocab break this down.
So that goes back to his promise after the days of mourning his father was over, that he would pursue his brother with the sword,
Yep.
that perpetual hatred.
And that same spirit fell on his descendants.
Yeah.
So you know he passed that down.
Yeah.
You know he told his children and his
Yeah.
children, they were all like, hey man, these
Niggers.
right,
Like,
sons of Jacob, those are the enemy.
Right,
That
right.
motherfucker stole my birthright.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
You
no,
know?
because that's one of the big questions is now. Is like, did you learn that from home? Did your parents teach you to be racist? And that's where I didn't teach them that. But you could subtly teach motherfuckers to be racist without saying, don't fuck with those, N-words,
You know they teaching me. You know they teaching me.
Yeah, they teaching them that.
Cause there's,
man.
cause I'm sorry.
oh, go ahead.
Well, even when I went to fucking, like different parts of New York, Wellsville and Alfred, and all that shit, I was around a lot of Edomites. And
Right.
this is when I was just coming into the truth. So,
Oh,
so I was like, what the fuck? But they were telling all type of black jokes. Where you learn black jokes from?
Yeah,
They learning that from home.
Exactly.
So they got all Jake. How many Jakes you know got white jokes? I mean, Jakes are funny. They might tell a few jokes, but
Yeah.
Jakes don't have like white jokes like Esau got
Yeah,
nigga
yeah,
jokes.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How many niggas to take the screw in the light bulb, shit like that.
Exactly.
The
Yeah.
type of shit I was hearing.
Right,
I'm around
right.
a lot of Edomites.
Yeah.
Though they're electricians, carpenters,
Yeah.
tradesmen.
Yeah.
Cause I was going to school for construction.
Yeah.
But they got all the nigga jokes for you, cause they're
All
taught
day.
that. You know?
Yeah. It's in the spirit though. It's in the spirit though, cause I think when you look up racial slurs, Esau came up with all of them shit. You got one for Chinese, fucking Arabs.
Got on for every nation.
You know what I'm saying?
I remember this one dude, this one cracker at my job. This was like some years ago. He asked me one question, like, oh, he said, what books do you read? I said, yeah, Kill White. I was like, I'm just playing with you. He just gave me a look like he was like kind of shot, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Fuck that.
Hit his up, fuck his ass up.
Right.
I remember the Edomites telling me, I'm like, damn, I don't know no white jokes I don't know come at this. But then the Lord began to wake me up. I began to know that they Esau. So I began to,
Right. Right.
now I could defend myself, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Now I know what's up.
Right.
You know, but see, that goes back to the Rothschilds. Man. They got a book on that. Matter of fact, I put it in the group chat some while back, the old group chat. You know what I'm saying? And it was, I forgot the name of that damn book though. But it got like a phoenix on the front of the book. And they got like a shield. And the Rothschilds, they were saying in that book, they were saying that they admitted it. They said everybody hate us because they want their birthright. It's in that book, actual book.
Yeah, but as the scripture said, we will become a byword,
Proverb, man.
proverb, exactly. Derogatory name.
Back in Revelation 13 and 10, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. And when you go into Psalms 149, which in that movie Birth of a Nation, they had Nat Turner bring that scripture out, man. He brought it out with passion.
Right.
That was a powerful ass scene.
Yeah.
Say we're gonna bind their tongues, slay the demonic nations with the two-edged sword. So we actually gonna get a sword too.
Right.
You know, but another way that Esau gonna be killed with the sword is the nukes. Because he was given a great sword, and that great sword is that nuke, man. Because that shit can wipe out, nukes gonna wipe out this whole fucking country.
Right.
That's a great sword,
Yeah.
you know?
And ultimately, it's the scriptures. It's our ultimate sword
Yep.
because it said it cuts even sharper, it cuts even deeper, asunder bones and
Cuts to
cuts
the
to the
soul.
spirit. Yeah.
It's the discerner of the thoughts,
Yeah.
you know? So Esau got the carnal sword, but the Most High gave us the spiritual one,
Right.
you know? Which is what we're doing now to him, cutting his ass up.
Right.
He can't stand it,
No.
you know? Verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and spake as a dragon. That's dealing with America and the Senate. You know, them that Trump is about to institute. You know, Alien Enemy Act, tariffs on Mexico, Canada.
Right.
You know,
I think he's doing that, putting them tariffs in Canada for them to, because he's very aware of they control the electricity out there. He's doing that so they can actually do that, so they can step into the next phase of that, pushing the cooperative.
what's that next phase entitles mass death, great culling of the herd, which
That's-
means
yep.
a lot of people got to die. Years ago, on the elders sit down where they had the end of the world behind them,
Yeah.
he'll open here and say millions and billions of Israelites are going to die.
I
It's true.
used to see that too. Yeah, I remember.
It's true though. But now, but that was like 2016, 2017. But now we're in the days where that's going to happen. You know?
Yeah, I think that too. That he spake as a dragon. If the dragon spit fire.
Yeah.
So the scripture came to my mind was fiery darts. When I looked it up, it says the phrase fiery darts refers to the temptations and attacks from the enemy, such as fear, doubt, and lust. That's heavy. That's crazy.
In their first thing, they're gonna pump the fear. They're gonna put that fear out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't get this, you don't get that. You get cut off. This will happen to you. You get put to death, and that's it.
And right now, people are losing housing, losing food stamps, they're losing every fucking thing. People are losing their minds.
Right.
You know,
Say that,
literally,
man.
people are crazy.
That was, before I came out, it was an Edomite chick. So one of the brothers put it up, like she was like giving her testimony about she don't want no family, she don't want to get married now. I don't know where.
Yeah, I seen that too.
Yeah, you seen that? Yeah, right.
She's talking about the people dying.
Yup.
She said, "Why is my life more important than this?" She's bugging out. She's losing her mind. You know.
It's just like that cat that killed that CEO, man. He lost his mind, but he actually had back surgery that went horribly wrong, and he was left with back pain.
Come to find out, he wasn't the dude that shot him.
Huh?
He wasn't the dude that shot him.
I don't know. This is new shit, but I'm just going by.
Yeah,
what
I know. I'm
was
just
said.
saying. But I know. But he didn't even shoot him because the dude that killed him, he didn't have a unibrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, the story that's out there, but that just goes to show you how people are not like gonna like lay down and take this shit no more from these people, man. Because I think that company actually, when you go into the different list of healthcare providers, they're number one at denial rate. I think theirs is at 32% of denying people claims for insurance. You know what I mean? So a lot of people have been suffering due to life-saving medicines and shit they need. So they think. You know what I mean? Because medicine ain't gonna work unless the Lord allow it to work for you.
That goes to him being a fucking devil. Because you go to other countries, they'll give you money for starting a family, having children.
Yep.
The life insurance is free or cheap.
That's what Gaddafi was doing.
You know?
That's what Gaddafi
Got
over
him
there.
killed.
Yeah, over there, you know.
I believe it's part of Egypt, if I'm not mistaken. Libya. Water. I believe he was actually targeting that to our people too.
Yeah.
He's saying y'all could come over here,
Yeah.
we'll help y'all.
Yeah.
No, Esau ain't like that.
Oh, no, you can't take my niggas.
Right.
You know? So we're the slaves.
Right.
We're the ones that work and keep this bitch going. You want to go get some goddamn fucking Arby's, Jake's is working there. You might have an Edomite manager, but the people that's making the shit is all Israelites.
Right.
So it's like that in all of these industries out there. We are the slaves, man. It's modern day Egypt. You know? So he ain't gonna let us go. Revelation 13 and 12. And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Going into that modern Roman Day Empire, man. He's gonna use his sword to make your ass get down or lay down. You know? 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. He did that with his atomic bombs. And that was people still talk about that today.
Yeah.
You know?
But the people are still having side effects from that shit.
Today.
Motherfuckers growing different limbs and shit, deformities and skin fucking rashes and
That's because all that radiation and toxins and pollutants that affects your that affects your body.
Right.
Your hormones, how you grow.
Yeah.
So people are growing extra limbs and shit.
Yeah.
You know? 14. And he deceived them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. And part of his miracles, he's going to use his technology.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's going to use brain chips to make blind people see again. So that's going to entice people. Oh shit, I need to get a brain chip.
Right.
And what about someone who's deaf? They can't hear. Well, take this, and that'll remedy that.
Right.
That's a miracle, false miracle, but nevertheless it is a miracle.
Right.
So a lot of people are going to see that. They're going to wonder after that, and they're going to get it because their names are not written in the book of life. You know, but we're warning our people that that's part of it. You know, if you take this chip for any sort of monetary gain, any type of self-improvement, you took the mark of the beast, and now you got to be destroyed. You know? It says, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. So that right there shows you that it's not an actual image. Because it said they had a wound by a sword and did live. So that never happened to Caesar Borgia. You know, that's an actual man, but they're saying that the pictures of Jesus Christ, that's the image. No, it's talking about how America is modeled after the ancient Roman Empire. It's made in this image. That's why you have coliseums, your modern day gladiators, or your athletes. LeBron James, basketball players, football players. That's nothing more than the gladiators, man. Just right now, they're not fighting to the death. They're slam dunking and shit, catching, 60-yard passes,
Getting knocked on the canvas. Taking dives. Wasting your money.
Right. But it's all for what? For bread and circus, which is to do what? Distract you from what Esau is doing behind the scenes, Verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. I mean, if you don't want to get down with the system and how it's going and take its mark, then you're going to be killed. You're going to be cut off from society. In that movie, Demolition Man, you had a group of people who were living underground. They were cut off from society because they didn't want to get down. Meaning they didn't take the mark. They had to eat rat burgers and stuff. So they were off the grid. But the same thing is going to happen now. Because in the Apocrypha it says, and those evils be as pilgrims on the earth. So you're going to have some brothers that's just going to be out here. I mean, of course, Yahweh Shem and Shai is going to be with them, but they're going to be cut off from society because they're not going to take the chip. So they're going to have to survive off their land.
Right.
Verse 16, and he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. So that goes in all factions of society, in all classes of society. Prisoners, middle class, which the middle class is being done away with, rich and poor, homeless. He's doing away with homeless people because he's going to make it to where you can't be homeless because you got to take the chip.
Right.
Or who wants to be homeless? So you don't want to be homeless, take the chip, we'll give you housing. You want an early release from prison, take the chip so we can track you, we'll let your ass out early. They don't care what these people do. Esau ain't trying to stop the crime rate, especially if it's amongst our people. He ain't trying to take the fucking prostitutes off the street. He protects homosexuals, things of that nature. He don't care if you commit sin, because that's what keeps you at in a lower state. That's what keeps him able to be ruled over you.
Right.
So if it benefits him, He don't mind. He don't mind letting these prisoners out, man, because he needs the chaos, order of chaos. You know. And also, what about the babies? You know, you had a baby in our system. Right now, they give those babies vitamin K shots. As soon as they're born, they're sticking them up. But that's going to translate to what? As soon as the child is born, they're going to chip them up. You know, even the military. It looks like it's starting with the military. You know, Richard Brother shared a video on IG of them feeding the soldiers steak and lobster. Where there's a saying, when they get fed good like that, they about to go to war. So they might get sent over to the Middle East, man. You know?
Fatten them up for the kill.
Verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So one of the major prophecies, and we're going to keep talking about it, is that it's going to come in time, and you see it right now. You see Esau put 666 symbolism everywhere. You know, that goes in the cha-cha stigma, which is the mark of the beast.
Which is that barcode.
Yep.
A barcode. Some of the initiate numbers is 666.
A lot of the products he packages it in 6, or he sells it for $6.
Right.
You know, during COVID, you had to stand 6 feet away.
Right.
You have a mask on.
Right.
You know, so that's part of his symbolism, part of his witchcraft too. You know.
And now, Sleepy Joe Biden said, you want 2/3 vaccinated. So I remember saying that on the news.
Yep.
Man. Said that too.
But that goes into 66.6%.
Then they said that those of the people that was most likely to suffer from the CG19, whatever, it was blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. We were the ones that had the highest underlying health conditions. So we were the most at risk. They said. So that was the promotion for us to get it.
Yep. Then you have Bill de Blasio eating a burger and fries.
Right, with no
saying,
mask.
if you want this, then you got to get that.
Right.
And let you know that if you want to eat, you have to take something.
Right.
You know.
Take that. No diddy.
verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name, which that is a physical mark. The word there is a ragma, which means thing inserted, an incision in the flesh. Or you go into chastised stigma, you go into stigma, it actually means a prick carved in the flesh, man. You know, he's going to carve in your flesh and put in a technology in it. It's going to be in the form of an RFID chip. You know?
Said that was two cancer. Reed.
That's the story. I was just thinking about the broken reed. Isaiah 66.
Say if he lean in it, it shall go in his hand. A lot of our people going to try to lean on Egypt. Try to go down to Egypt for help. It's going to go in your hand. You know? I'm going to end it right here. It says, here's wisdom, like him that had understanding, count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 600, 66. And again, if you go into that word, chastised stigma, the word stigma, if you can look it up real quick, Baba Kushar, type in stigma concordance, KJV, and it'll give you the definition. You know, we'll read that and get up out of here. Good hour and a half. That's the time for it, man. We're in the time of the hour of temptation. You know, World War III, Jacob's trouble.
It's coming too. I feel it. It's coming.
So we're gonna keep pushing these prophecies. Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on us to that we get that mark of Ezekiel that make us exempt, man. Because the word there for mark is yeah, that's it. Yeah, the second one. The word there's the wa, and that makes you a mark exempt from judgment. That's going to be put upon the men that are signed. Right now, we're sighing and crying. You know, it's the reason why the Most High put the Spirit us to come out here to sigh and cry unto Him.
All right, this is going into the usage. It says in the New Testament, stigma refers to a mark or brand on the body. It is used metaphorically to describe marks of ownership or signs of suffering for Christ, they say, Yahushua.
Which you have a movie called Stigmata,
right?
To where I believe this non-believer became a believer because she started getting crosses and shit that showed up on her.
Body, yeah.
You know, supernatural type shit though.
Right.
You know?
And it says the term implies a visible sign of allegiance or identity often associated with suffering or persecution. Woo! That's crazy.
Damn, mate. That kind of cuts you what you said. Neural corn.
Right.
So with that, man, we're gonna end it. Want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, B'Kakwadash. The hopeful elect, say shalom.